the lost continent of Lemuria of Kumari Kandam. Most people are familiar with the story of Atlantis, the legendary sunken city as described by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. Till this day, opinion is still divided as to whether this story should be understood literally or taken merely as a morality tale. Further east in the subcontinent of India is a similar tale, though it probably is less well known compared to that of Atlantis. This is the lost continent of Lemuria, frequently connected to the legend of Kumari Kandam by speakers of the Tamil language. The term Lemuria has its origins in the latter part of the 19th century. The English geologist Philip Sclater was puzzled by the presence of lemur fossils in Madagascar and India, but not in mainland Africa and the Middle East. Thus, in his 1864 article entitled The Mammals of Madagascar, Sclater proposed that Madagascar and India were once part of a larger continent and named this missing landmass Lemuria. And as we can see, the eastern part of Kumari Kandam or Lemuria was actually joined to Australia. The west part of it was joined to Madagascar, and the northern part of it was joined to India, as you can see from the map. Sclater's theory was accepted by the scientific community of that period as the explanation of the way lemurs could have migrated from Madagascar to India or vice versa in ancient times. With the emergence of the modern concepts of continental drift and plate tectonics, however, Sclater's proposition of a submerged continent was no longer tenable. Yet the idea of a lost continent refused to die, and some still believe that Lemuria was an actual continent that existed in the past. One such group is the Tamil nationalists. The term Kumari Kandam first appeared in the 15th century Kandam Puranam, the Tamil version of the Skanda Puranam. Yet stories about an ancient land submerged by the Indian Ocean have been recorded in many earlier Tamil literary works. According to the stories, there was a portion of land that was once ruled by the Pandyan kings and was swallowed by the sea. And I'll read a little bit of that for you. Lost continent of Kumari Kandam from Tamil Youth site, and I'll leave a link below for you. Quote, when the southern ocean boiled over, that is from a volcanic eruption, and seized the land, fine men, graceful women, and beautiful people, shapely, colorful birds, animals, and other living beings, all suffered and perished. Temples, mansions, and palaces, renowned Tamil libraries and the rare arts, colleges and schools, assemblies and meeting houses, marketplaces and port facilities, homes, gardens, and playing fields all disappeared into the ocean, end quote. And Lemuria, also known as Kumari Kandam, remains a point of fascination and enhancement of Tamils everywhere. And they say that references have been made to Kumari Kandam and the cruel sea that destroyed it. Kumari Kandam was a continent which extended east to Australia and in the west to Madagascar. Its inhabitants were the Tamils before it was consumed by ravaging waves. The volcanic eruptions paired with violent raging waves resulted in submerging Kumari Kandam. Kumari Kandam was Tamil land, and it was birthplace of our ancestors. Today, Tamil scholars who try to piece together that puzzle of the missing continent ask the question, what did we lose through Lemuria? And going back to this Lemuria. Now, when narratives about Lemuria arrived in colonial India, the country was going through a period when folklore was beginning to permeate historical knowledge as facts. As a result, Lemuria was quickly equated to Kumari Kandam. The story of Kumari Kandam is not regarded as just a story, but seems to be laden with nationalistic sentiments. It has been claimed that the Pandyan kings of Kumari Kandam were the rulers of the whole Indian continent, and that Tamil civilization is the oldest civilization in the world. When Kumari Kandam was submerged, its people spread across the world and founded various civilizations, hence a claim that the lost continent was also the cradle of human civilization. So how much truth is there in the story of Kumari Kandam? According to researchers at India's National Institute of Oceanography, the sea level was lowered by 100 meters, that's about 300 feet, about 14,500 years ago, and by 60 meters, 180 or 200 feet, about 10,000 years ago. Hence, it's entirely possible that there was once a land bridge connecting the island of Sri Lanka to mainland India. As a rate of global warming increased between 12,000 and 10,000 years ago, the rising sea levels resulted in periodic flooding. This would have submerged prehistoric settlements that were located around the low-lying coastal areas of India and Sri Lanka. Stories of these catastrophic events may have been transmitted orally from one generation to another and finally written down as the story of Kumari Kandam. One piece of evidence used to support the existence of Kumari Kandam is Adam's Bridge, also called Rama's Bridge, a chain of limestone shoals made up of sand, silt, and small pebbles located in the Palk Strait extending 18 miles from mainland India to Sri Lanka. This strip of land was once believed to be a natural formation. However, others argue that images taken by NASA's satellite depict this land formation to be a long broken bridge under the ocean's surface. The existence of a bridge in this location is also supported by another ancient legend. The Ramayana tells a tale of Sita, Rama's wife, being held captive on the island of Lanka, Sri Lanka. Rama commissioned a massive building project to construct a bridge to transport his army of Vanara, that is 8 men, across the ocean to Lanka. As with most so-called myths, it seems likely that there is at least some truth to the ancient Tamil legend of Kumari Kandam, but just how much is yet to be determined. Let's take a very nice look at that on Google Earth, where this location was. Here we are on Google Earth, and this is Madagascar right here. This is Australia right here. And this would have been the western part of it. It would have been, the eastern part is here, and it would have been extending this way, and the northern part of it right here. All right, and let's go to see Adam's Bridge. This is India. This is Sri Lanka. And let's zoom in so we could see what's happening. This is the Tamil area, Tamil Nadu, and this is Sri Lanka, and that is the area of Adam's Bridge, as you can see right there. You can still see that portion of what is supposed to have been a constructed bridge. And let's measure it in miles from here to here. It's about 16 miles, 18 miles up to there. Okay? So this is the area that they were talking about, that legend, that was actually a constructed bridge. And we still see some islands there. Some of them are washed by waves. Some of them are, they look like sand dunes. And some of the sand is even sloughed off to the sides. So, was this actually a part of a landmass, or was it constructed? There you go. They say it was constructed. And pulling out again. This is the area of the legendary Lemuria. Okay, this is what we're talking about here. That Madagascar must have been part of it, that is, and also Australia. And something happened, and it is no longer here. And that part was the northern part of it. And this article was published by permission of Ancient Origins, Kumari Kandam, and it's on Humans Are Free, Creative Commons by Alexander Light. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.